So it is the night of the Aries full moon. It's a little bit cloudy, but I do have my eye on the full moon behind the clouds at this time. And so it's just such a powerful energy. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know how I get when it comes to full moons. Usually it's water full moons, but for some reason this Aries full moon is like intense. We're halfway through the astrological year, by the way. So, which begins, of course, with the Aries new moon. It's just sort of the beginning of the lunar cycle, the lunar year, so to speak. So with this Aries full moon, we're about halfway through that. It's been a very interesting year, of course, a very interesting couple of years. But the ways in which I've begun to see some of the manifestations, some of the shifts in energy that were sort of, I don't want to say maybe like foretold, when messages were coming through, like about a year ago, okay? Messages were coming through about what the Great Conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter was going to mean for the planet Earth, for the collective, for each of us individually, and for humanity on Earth as a whole. And it's really interesting because there are these, kind of amorphous messages, this messages about how something's coming, things are going to be different. And then now that we're here and those energies really have shifted, it's just been a very interesting year. Okay. To just kind of sit back and observe and see the ways in which things are really beginning to shift on an energetic level. So welcome, you guys. This is just kind of a ramble. There's no reading or anything like that. There's some messages coming through. If you guys are interested in a reading, of course, you can book that as always at www.soulschoolspiritual.com. All the information you need is in the description box below. But let's go ahead and get to this. Okay. So this week alone has been really, really insane, okay, as far as my own personal experience of the energy. And I'm just going to go ahead and assume that this has been a collective thing, okay, that I'm not special, except for I'm going to talk about how I am, how I think I'm special. As far as the way in which I have been impacted energetically by some of the events of this week. And I'm talking about the fact that the earth is exploding left and right. Okay. So the volcano in La Palma, on the Canary Islands. Wow, you guys, if you haven't been watching that footage, it is, of course, catastrophic at this point, the damage that it's done, but just to witness and to behold and to see the power of Mother Earth, of nature, okay, as it's being expressed through the eruption of the La Palma volcano in the Canary Islands right now. You guys, if you haven't, there's live streams of it. You can go check it out right now. And then we have a geyser exploding. Where is that? Is that in, I want to say, very, very north of, I can't, when I'm in my flow state and I'm trying to channel, it's so hard to draw from my intellectual, logical, memory files. Okay. It's either in northern Wyoming or, Utah. It's right under Montana. I was looking it up the other day, of course. But here's a geyser exploding, and then, of course, the eruption of the volcano in Japan. Okay, so I just had a weird hunch, okay? After the geyser exploded, I had this weird hunch, and it was like, Molly, why don't you pull up your how do I want to say it? My astrocartography, okay? I've talked about this a little bit before on my channel when I talk about relocation astrology and stuff like that. But basically, astrocartography is a method of astrology in when you take in which you take a peek at a picture of the globe, and there are these lines, almost like these sine waves that move all over the globe. Sometimes you have absolutely vertical lines. Sometimes you have these arcs. Like I said, sometimes you have these sine waves. And basically that's just showing it's a relationship between a planet and one of the axes or angles on your chart. So either your ascendant, descendant, or your IC or your MC, okay? Your medium coli, and I don't know what the IC stands for right now. I can't draw that out of the logic bank at this moment, but nonetheless, so you have, it's almost like the north, south, east, and west, the axis of your astrological chart. And so when you go to, you can look up AstroClick Travel, and it'll take you to astro.com. If you have an account there, it's really easy to use. If you don't, it's very easy to have and to make an account, and definitely something I highly recommend if you're interested in your own personal astrology. So nonetheless, you go there and you enter in your birth information, and then it shows you this map of the world and all these lines that are going everywhere. And basically they're saying, look, if you had been born, or if you were to travel to any of the points on this particular line, this is where Saturn would meet up with, or Mars or Jupiter, any of the planets, right? It's going to indicate a planet and an angle would meet up with one of those four angles in your chart, right? So they're significant. They're really significant. The fact that when I moved down here to Mexico, I knew that I was moving onto my Pluto line, and I feel that deep transformational like energy, very slow, steady transformation, but very deep change going on in my life right now. And I know that I triggered that by moving onto my Pluto line, which is basically a point on the globe which is very, very close to this particular line, in which the planet Pluto conjuncts one of my axes. Nonetheless, I'm describing to you what's going on when I decide to go look at my astrocartography. I decide to go look at where are these places at on the globe. Where is La Palma on the globe in relation to my lines? And lo and behold, it's just a couple degrees off of my Saturn line, one of my Saturn lines. Okay, so that's interesting, because Saturn is about restrictions and limitations, and I've definitely been feeling some of that energy, like something was about to erupt, right? Just energetically within me. And by the way, we'll get to the channeled message in a moment, but this had to be, this is a part of the message as well. Spirit's reassuring me it's okay to go on this tangent. Nonetheless, so then I decided to go, okay, well, where's this geyser at? Lo and behold, it's just a couple degrees off of my Saturn line. So then, of course, just before I sat down to do this recording, I decided to look at where this volcano in Japan is at, and it's just a couple degrees off of one of my Jupiter lines. So for the earth, for the collective, it's definitely been a big week. But for me, I definitely feel like something, because Jupiter and Saturn are the karmic planets, something has been unlocked. Some sort of time capsule has like opened. There's been so much in me that has been unable to be expressed. You guys, you know, like, you haven't seen me in a while. I haven't been putting videos out. And so boom. All right, you guys, we're erupting. All this stuff is coming out. All right. All of this information is spewing forth. So here's what I really want to tell you guys about. Okay. We're like shifting gears in a tremendous way. Basically, the part of the galaxy, of the universe, if you will, that our solar system is currently traveling through, we're going to feel like another really big energetic shift. Like, this is just going to be a lot more perceivable, okay? This is almost like a phase in the journey of what it means to be on the other side of this tremendous energetic shift that we experienced last December with this great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, okay? It's really kind of about, it was like right as they moved into Aquarius. So it's really about allowing old structures to fall away, allowing basically the space to be cleared for some really revolutionary change. Okay? So that's going on. Okay? But this, what we're going through now, is almost like a step in that process. It's a step on the journey. I feel like it is a passageway through some sort of portal or some sort of area of space-time that is, they're showing me almost like the way that gravity curves, the way that that's like expressed in like scientific videos, like documentaries and stuff like that, right? Like the curvature of space-time, okay? Like the way that, I don't know how else to explain it, but that's what they're showing me. Like a picture of, like for instance, I was watching this thing the other day about how Einstein realized that during an eclipse, the appearance of stars is like shifted. Their location is shifted because light is actually being bent by the gravity of the sun, okay? So it's some sort of weird, I don't even want to say optical illusion, but sort of energetic anomaly that we're passing through at this time, okay? And the image that there's two images that they're giving me, okay? Because I did just watch Rob's tarot video, which was really, really great, where he talks about the fourth dimensional beings are coming. Because, I mean, I've kind of been spreading that message for a while about the fact that we have to be very discerning with the messages that we get from quote-unquote spirit, because it's not just benevolent beings over there. There are other beings as well, those that would like sow chaos and lead you astray and etc., okay? So anyways, he kind of had like a similar message where he was talking about we really can be susceptible to some sort of like deceptions or illusions and things like that when it comes to the messages that we believe we are receiving from our guides and from our intuition. That's a message that I've been delivering here on my channel for a while, but I just bring it up at this time that like that's definitely something that my guides also want me to talk about as we go through this portal, okay? And so the visualization, and this is interesting, this is a symbol that I'm gonna have to dig into after this, because I'm not, like, I just have to kind of peel back the layers, but I'm getting the blue meanies from a yellow submarine, okay? From like the Beatles, like the animated video, like the animated cartoon movie of the Yellow Submarine, and the blue meanies are like the bad guy characters in there. And so there's something about, somehow that is some sort of symbol. I'm gonna go look that up and see what I think that means. But I also am getting that scene from Willy Wonka where he takes the kids on that boat right through the tunnel. That's like really freaking scary. Like, what the hell even is that, Willy Wonka? And you know, at the end he's kind of got this smile on his face, and it's just like, what the fuck was that? And it's almost like Willy Wonka is the guide energy here, okay? Right? It's like, okay, let's step away from the logical question of like, what was Willy Wonka doing? Okay. But it's like in this metaphor, it's almost like that weird part of going through the tunnel is just absolutely inevitable. All right. And so we do have an energy, a collective, a larger collective, a benevolent collective, right? That is there to sort of like accompany us through that scary tunnel part of this larger journey. But it's really, it's for our enlightenment, but at the same time, it's also kind of a weeding out process, okay? I don't know exactly what that means, all right? It just means that it's almost like they want me to talk about fear threshold, okay? It's almost like we're going to be experiencing some sort of external fear threshold. And we're going to have to decide, yes, I want to step into my abilities. I want to step into this higher vibration. I want to step into this different version of myself. Or no, I'm just too scared. I don't want to confront the things that are required by that. I'm just going to go ahead and turn back. Okay? Because that's what the fear threshold means when we talk about meditation and channeling and astral travel. Okay, the more you begin to explore your inner realms and other, let's say, realms or like of consciousness, right, you're gonna get to some stuff that's a little scary, and you're either gonna have to deal with what's scary in that, because you're always your own projections, right? So you're going to have to either deal with what's scary within that or turn back, right? And it has something to do with like the spiritual warriors on the planet at this time. Okay. This is just direct channeling. And so I'm definitely going to need some time to unpack that. But I would love to hear from you guys. Is there, like, what have you been experiencing this week while the earth has been exploding through like several, I don't know why I want to say orifices, but that's what these are, like volcanoes and geysers, okay? They're the earth's pores, her vents, if you will. And she's really, 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 really been kind of letting it out. All right, a very Aries full moon kind of energy. It's aggressive. It's violent. Okay, volcanoes are violent. Geysers are violent. All right. I've been feeling called to just send as much love to Gaia consciousness as I can right now. You know, like when you have a friend that's just kind of going through it. You're like, you know what? I know. I'm just gonna send this person some love and hope that helps to heal them. I was reading in, what was it? I think it's in a Wanderer's Handbook. Was talking about there are certain starseeds on this planet at this time that at least like one of, if not the mission that they are on, is to simply send love to Mother Earth, to Gaia consciousness, in an effort to help to rebuild the fissure that occurred between humanity and the earth with the dropping of the atomic bombs. Okay, like we were not all there. We did not push that button. You and I did not do that. Okay, but there are certain people who have made that choice to incarnate into this life to accomplish, amongst other things, just the sending of love from the human heart down to Mother Gaia. So if you guys get a chance, definitely do that. Send her some love. She's been through it this week. What have you been through? Let me know how you guys are doing. Sorry I've been MIA. Maybe now that these eruptions have taken place, you guys will see a little bit more of me. But yeah, like, let me know how you're feeling, how you're experiencing this stuff. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm sure I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care.